So I'm at Randall's Island, which is technically in Manhattan, but it's an island. It's just a bunch of baseball diamonds. There's like 50 baseball diamonds there, and they train the fire department there. There's an NYPD station there. No one lives there. And it's sort of like Bronx, Harlem, that kind of part of town. Anyway, I am there. My son is having a championship tournament on the weekend, and I notice a gentleman is letting his dog in the park. Now, I don't like that, and I always see dog feces lying around, and I think, God, if only I was there when this was happening. And it's happened to me. This was the third time, but it had already happened twice, where I made the person go get a bag because they were just going to leave it there. Now, kids play on these fields, and you're letting your dog leave it was a lab, a human-sized feces on a place where some kid is going to fall in it? I don't know. What if he gets it in his eyes? What if he falls and then he wipes his eye and he gets an infection? I think that happened in a New York park. Some kid got dog feces in his eye and almost had his eye taken out because it got infected. But anyway, I went over to him. I said, "You're going to pick that up, right?" And he said, "Absolutely nothing." So I thought, he looked kind of Hispanic. I thought maybe he doesn't speak English. And I said, "Let me I was pretty eloquent, I got to say. And wait till you hear my final line. I said, "Let me rephrase that. You're going to pick that up." And he keeps staring at me, right? So I come over and I do my classic Tony Soprano. It's a very difficult situation. And I said, "Pick it up right now." And he's still just frozen there. And he clearly doesn't have a bag ready. So I said, "Pick it up." And I shove him. This makes his dog angry. His dog begins to nip at my ankles and bark at me, so I kick his dog. Then he yells, "You kicked my dog." Perfect English, so I guess he did speak the language. And he lost his temper, and he went to strangle me. As he was coming to strangle me, I headbutted him, and then his lips split open. He held his hand like this. I gave him a nice 1-2, but it was on top of his hands. His dog's still barking at me. I'm still kicking the dog. And then there's a minor kerfuffle on the ground. I shove him away. I'm done now. And he goes, "I'm going to call the cops." And I said, "Why? You the park, and I punished you. Case closed." Now, I should have said, the only way that line could have been better is if I said, "You and your dog the park, and I punished you both. Case closed." That would have been maybe 5% funnier, but I felt pretty good about that. And I did. I felt like I was supporting our thing about, can we stop calling the police every time there's a minor altercation? And here's the crazy part. I'm doing this from a long tradition of McInnes men fighting people whose dogs defecate in parks. My dad did this back in the 70s, and the fight that I just described lasted maybe 10 seconds, 11 seconds. But my dad did it, and it was 20 minutes of brawling over that. And I always use that example as an example of the good old days when you didn't call the cops over everything. So I feel like I am continuing the tradition. Now, I know what you're asking. You're saying, "Gav, your eye is destroyed. He must have really got you." I don't remember being punched in the face. I wasn't drunk. This was in the daytime. I was a little hungover. I don't think he punched me in the face. Now, there was a kerfuffle when we were sort of on the ground, and I think I scraped my nose on the pathway. But I don't remember getting punched in the face. Here is my theory. I think this is from my headbutt. I think I went bzz, and it pushed my glasses into my face. And then they say a black eye, right? That's when the blood drains down. You can get punched above your eye and you have a black eye below because the blood goes down and drains. So I think I did this to myself with using my face as a fist. Because I would have remembered if he got a punch this good in. And he probably doesn't have a black eye. So technically, I guess he won. I mean, no, his face is split open. He's probably got a huge fat lip now. I think I won. This is my doing. Anyway.